Of course, the first story of Christmas involves the Holy Family needing to find a place to stay. For some Puerto Ricans, the road to recovery from the September 20th devastation of Hurricane Maria has left them without a home and taken them to western Massachusetts. Arriving in Springfield, Holyoke, West Springfield, and Westfield, those displaced by the destruction of Maria are being welcomed in many ways. Nearly 400 students are now enrolled in Springfield's public schools. The Western Mass Food Bank provides a week's worth of food to help evacuees get settled in. And in Westfield, 2 parishes are reaching out with helping hands to offer dinners, warm clothing, and other essentials for families being housed at a hotel. Kathy Harrington reports the outreach, especially during this Christmas season, is a community effort.
The heart of Puerto Rico is a city called Caguas, located at the crossroads of the main highways connecting north, south, center, and eastern regions of the island.
My house got flooded. Everything got lost, my furniture, clothes. I stay at my parents' house. My father had the electrical generator. We didn't have any water. Very difficult to find gas, food, and all the rest. And there it was where I stayed with my father and my mother in those conditions.
On September 20th, the winds of Hurricane Maria blew through homes, floodwaters carried away precious belongings, and families were left homeless. After weeks of waiting for shelter, water, and electricity, thousands of families are now seeking shelter off the island in places like Westfield.
It was very difficult at the beginning because we didn't know how to move around.
Arriving from Caguas in early November, Liz Marie Diaz and her family plan to stay here. With her husband and 2 children, the monumental task of rebuilding their lives has begun.
We're looking for a job so we can provide for our kids what they need. We went to the school system to register our kids, and that's how I met Itza Rivera and Mara Sanabria. And from those 2 ladies, I found the people from the church.
Meet Olga Gonzalez from St. Mary's Church, one of the Army of Angels who welcomed Liz Marie and her family.
So they had brought 11 families here to Westfield, and that same day we found out, we just made a big pot of soup. We got some bowls and bread, and we asked the owner of the hotel if we could use the lounge.
Gonzalez says FEMA is also locating displaced families in Holyoke, Springfield, and West Springfield, in hotels where there is room. When the women learned about the 11 families living at the hotel at the Turnpike exit, they sprang into action.
So we packed up all the stuff, went to the hotel, set up right there, and they started coming in. They started coming in, we introduced ourselves, we told them we had homemade soup, and they all started eating.
Others began collecting information on the families, their children, to determine their immediate needs.
The next day we got together and we felt they have needs, they had personal needs, but they could all benefit from a nice homemade meal, homemade, just like this.
The ladies reached out to the pastor of Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament, Father Dan Pekalik. The church and parish center are located a half-mile from the Quality Inn.
And as soon as we called here, it was a yes without a hesitation. Just come on in, the doors were open.
We're very, very happy to have them here and being able to help, in their process of relocation.
Immediately, the families were invited to a community dinner in the parish center. Members of Just Faith were on hand to help, and a collection of warm clothes and boots available for the taking.
Here in Westfield is where the most help she's getting.
Many people, as soon as they hear, they say, what can we do? How can we help? What do they need? And so it's been just being that bridge for those people that want to help, getting them to meet the families and service them.
On this night, a helping hand came from strangers bearing gifts, cards to use at a department store, and given to each of the families. The help is just what Najwa and her 3-year-old daughter need. They survived the hurricane, but her home did not. After seeking shelter with her mom for several weeks, her godmother in Springfield offered to help her get settled in Massachusetts.
She got a lot of goals in her mind. She want a job, better education for her daughter. She want to have a home. She want to stay here and get forward in her life.
Being cooped up in a hotel room all day is difficult for the toddler. The needs of others are more complicated. Among the displaced families is a woman undergoing cancer treatment.
We've been taking them to doctors, to the hospitals, because they have been getting sick. The one other thing we do is that the older lady, they can't get around, so we have people from the community taking them lunch.
The Westfield Spanish American Association has gotten involved, on hand at the dinners to help answer questions about available resources.
We felt that in one place where they can all come together, we can try to bring the resources to them. And with, Blessed Sacrament opening the doors to us, we've been able to do this.
2 of the families have found permanent housing, but as the hotel rooms become available, more families arrive, and many of the displaced families will spend Christmas at the Quality Inn.
On Christmas, we're going to see if, like Thanksgiving, those families that don't have a home to go to, if people in the community want to invite them to any of their Christmas celebrations.
At this week's dinner, Santa Claus visited with the children. Toys, a home, the life they knew, wishes shared with the man in a red suit. But living in a hotel in a strange city, this Christmas will be very different.
They're happy because the mom and dad are with them, and that's the most important.
I wish that more people in Westfield knew about it, to be honest with you. My impression is that a lot of people don't really know about it and don't, understand what these people really need.
For Liz Marie, a nursing student now missing her senior year at university, a job is among her wishes.
I would love to work in a hospital.
For now, St. Mary's elves, or as Father Dan calls them, angels sent by God, are hard at work to deliver a message of goodwill for Christmas. For Reel to Reel, I'm Kathy Harrington.
There are 2 welcome centers to help Puerto Rico's evacuees, one in Holyoke and one in Springfield. You can find information on how to reach the welcome centers on our website at iobserve.org.